Hi. Okay, it's wobbling a lot, isn't it? Okay, it's been a day. Oh, look at my hair. All right, let me just get myself looking a bit more respectful here for you guys. All right, because it's only respectful to show you guys a little bit more respect. Only respectful to show you guys a little bit more respect. Hair problems. Anyway, so Ella has been a couple times a day. Thank you, Ella. I love it. She gave me some gel pens. So I've put them in a pencil case. And when I do, I've got like these adult colouring in books that I use. Highly recommend. Especially if you ADHD brain people that your brain just does not stop. Just keeps going and everyone around you just wants to kill you. Those brains, right? You've got to be busy when you're not supposed to be busy. Yeah, that kind of brain. Adult colouring in books should be your friend. It comes for me in fads, you know, but I've got to get onto my bracelet making when I get my Taylor Swift t-shirt. Maybe I'll get in the mode. But yeah, fine motor skills is a little bit tricky, so I'll have to do it for shorter periods of time, but I'll be doing it and I'll be showing you my results. Today was boring shopping. I had to get underwear. Wow, it's really exciting. It's so exciting. And, you know, I don't know how you chicks feel these days about, it looks a bit weird, how you feel about underwear these days, but I feel like it's getting more and more boring and ugly, as if it's going backwards to the 1800s or something. Like, ew, everything on you just looks like, yeah, sorry. I'm sorry, but I like the happy ones. Okay, I'm like, give me some colour. I know people don't really see it. Well, I hope not. But, you know, give me some colour any day. But anyway, then again, it's a seasonal thing and it's coming into winter in Australia and all of it's like, bleh, colours. Like, you need to see that. You look at the sky, bleh, it's winter. You look at your knickers, it's winter. Should we know? We should know by looking at our knickers. Yeah, that's actually quite helpful for dementia patients. Hey, what season are we in? Oh, my underwear has floral on it. It must be spring. It's fucking true, and you know it. Okay? I just said it out loud. You all know it. Everyone just gets too embarrassed to talk about those things. Yes, well, I was like in a family that was too embarrassed to talk about anything. Would talk about everything that was not meant to be talked about. Miranda Hart, have you seen that show? Yeah, that Mother and Her, that's my mother and me. Yes. Before I was even like really legal, probably to get married almost. Almost. She's like, would anyone like to marry my daughter? I'm just like, mother, please, seriously. Embarrassing. No. Mm-mm. I got hobbies, girlfriend. Okay? I'm just one of those people. Look, I could survive out of a relationship. I could survive in one. Well, I am surviving in one, I guess you could say. But I'm just saying, I'm not a person that is in, like, I don't have to be, if that makes sense. I'm very comfortable with my own. I lived on my own for 3.5 years. Learned a lot about myself, which is very good, actually. And I really enjoyed my own company and realised this is fine. Of course, it's an added bonus to have people around to chat to, yeah. But, you know, no, I don't think it's a big deal. But, some people don't. Some people need to be constantly, you know, no judgment, just saying everyone's different, right? Me, I can fly high solo. So, all you single people, you kick butt, okay? Don't anyone make you feel like, oh, you haven't got another half. This half thing. You're both two full people. Right, topic today. Well, let's just, I guess that leads into it, doesn't it? Ladies, this is for you. Guys, this is probably going to be gross. Most of you probably haven't even clicked on it. Unless you're curious to know for your partner's sake, I'm assuming. Anyway, it's the only thing I can think of. But basically, we're talking about autism and periods. Periods, full stop. Periods, full stop. The dad jokes have been so full. Okay. I have gotten on the train of the dad jokes and it's becoming, is there a Dad Jokes Anonymous group to go to? Like Alcoholics Anonymous? Because I've got a problem telling dad jokes. So, okay. Periods and autism. Why is it needing to be talked about just because you're autistic and you have a period? All of us chicks have a period. Because sensory. It's a nightmare. Now, I know that you normies going, that's a nightmare for me too. I agree. I don't disagree. Of course it would be. It's uncontrollable leakage of an orifice of our body. It's a bit like when your waters break when you're pregnant. Both my pregnancies started that way. Labour started that way. And it was like, especially with the first, it was like, I was actually in hospital because I was in the country and they said, look, first baby, we had a mum. She was traumatised because she had to be flown into the hospital. So you're going to drive because there's floods that are going to cut us off from each other, from me, from the hospital. I was like, all right. So I had to stay in there for 2 or 3 days before. And he was overdue because this is my first baby. He's a little bit too chill. And they didn't want my first birth to be traumatic, right? And we stayed in for 7 days because that was like the good old-fashioned rules in the countries, towns in Australia. We were civilised. More civilised than the cities, actually, because my second birth was bloody crap because of the bloody city hospital. Less than 24 hours. It's like, get out of here. It's like, I'm going home to a toddler. Like, you didn't even give me one night's sleep, you assholes. I've just given birth. It's a big job. Anyway, first child. I woke up, went to the nurse, and I was like, oh, I think I wet the bed. Obviously, this baby's kicking on my bladder. And it went a bit too far. She goes, oh, sweetie. She taps me on the shoulder like I'm a retard. Because I am. Like, I am. Sorry if that offends, but I'm talking about myself. I am. And she's like, no, you're in labour. And I was like, oh, shit's getting real now. So no backing out. There's no way out but out. You know what I mean? And I had the first midwife was, second midwife was wonderful. The birthing midwife, who was hand in hand with the doctor, but the birthing midwife was just beautiful lady. But the first midwife, she was pregnant with her first. 4 months pregnant. So she was like, you shouldn't have pain relief. It will damage the baby a little bit. It's dangerous. You shouldn't do that. Well, when I got to a certain phase, I was like, what have you got? All of it. All of it. Maxim. Go for it. Get it into me. Don't care. I'm done. I was like 7.5 hours. Actually, 7 hours, 45 minutes into it. I started at 2 in the morning. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. This pain is getting to me and I need an epidural. So I had an epidural. Anyway. And I got relief, but I still had to wait around. It's like, because that one actually worked. Unlike my second child's epidural didn't work. Anyway. Yeah, didn't wet the bed. It was my waters had broken. And with my second, no offense to my second, God, I was just as excited, but it was like he was 2 weeks early. And it's his personality too. So the first one's like, hey, absent-minded professor, you know. I'm like, dude, you forgot, you know. Yeah, your school bag. Jeez, child. This isn't a teenager age, guys. This isn't young. And then, like, my youngest is like, can't get it done quick enough. It's got to be done yesterday. He has high standards. That's why he's good in management, right? But I'm just saying, like, the dude was 2 weeks early. Anyway, I'm supposed to get together with Christy, if you're listening. Hi, Christy. We were supposed to catch up. You remember this very well because you were like, yeah, I rung her before I rung the hospital. And I said, I can't see you today because, yeah, the little buggers decided to come today. My waters are broken. So, yeah. So, she goes, and I said, I'm so sorry. She goes, oh, my God. What are you apologising for? You're about to have a child. I'm like, oh, yeah. It's an autistic thing. Don't take it personally. Don't think I'm cold. It's an autism thing, okay? It's just our brains are just like, no, today I had plans to do this. This wasn't supposed to happen yet. What's going on? 2 weeks early? Anyway, I was glad he was early because it's my birthday. So, anyway, I rang the hospital and I said, right, as a bossy autistic I was in my 20s, right, yeah, my waters are breaking, slowly breaking, because mine were like a bit of a trickle every now and then, like quite a lot, but, you know, had a towel between my legs. It was significant, but I said, look, I'm just going to have some breakfast and I'm going to have a shower. I've packed my bag last night, luckily, because I'm very organised, and then I'll head in. She goes, now things have changed since nowadays. She goes, no, infection control. You get here now. I'm like, can I just have a shower first? No. I'm thinking, ew. Because I was at that age, I was like, I have to shower every morning at this time, and that's that. Otherwise, I can't function. Anyway, that's the story of my childbirth. And both were amazing. Anyway, my first one, when he came out and he was in our arms, and he just looked at us like, hi, parents, I guess you'll do. Yep, you'll do. That's how he did. And then the other one came out probably how I came out. Fuck this world. Why am I here? That's what I probably did. And that's what the younger one did too. But he was so cute. He was like a little monkey. He was so cute. They both were. I mean, my first, he was the lucky one. He came out just perfect. Whereas my younger one, he was so red. I was like, you poor bugger. You've been through some shit, haven't you? So, yeah, he was a bit restless that night. So, but he was a fast birth because the doctor was like, don't get stuck in traffic with your third. I was like, you haven't met my other doctor who knows my real story. I'm not allowed to have a third. He's like, it'll be rather quick. You know, you don't want to have it on the side of the road. I'm thinking, what do you think I am, a bloody baby mill? It's going to pump them out every year or so? Fuck off. I'm not doing this again. Because you know what happened with the second? Okay, with the second, when it really got painful, because at first it was like, you know, I'm sitting, because I had gestational diabetes, I'm sitting with the machine thing on my belly. She goes, oh, you're having another very strong contraction. You can't feel anything? No, I can't feel anything. Just feel a bit tight. About it. She's like, okay. And then, you know, when it got painful, it was like, and I'm saying to people around me, I'm like, how did I forget this? How do you forget this level of agony of like your insides being ripped out? How do you forget this? You forget. It's apparently a biological thing, so that makes you do it again. Don't do it again. No, do. Every child's worth it. And if I could have had more kids, my goal was 6, but I had to settle for 4. But knowing him, he would have gone 3. Understandable, they're expensive. Anyway, moving on to periods, because look at this, 14 bloody minutes. But this is all female-related stuff, because, you know, birth, plan your birth for autism. Plan it. I was lucky. I had country hospital experience, which meant I was prepped, right? When we did like the birthing classes, unlike the city, that was also stupid birthing classes. We were actually passed out at one of them. It was a bit dramatic because I couldn't get my blood sugar levels right. And that was stupid. But anyway, like the first classes are so much more useful. And I did first aid because I was like, oh, I'm doing first aid because my sister nearly choked when she was a toddler and it scared the shit out of me. I was so scared that I was like, as soon as I was pregnant with my first, I was like, first aid, senior first aid. But basically, yeah, plan your births if you are autistic. Richard Clayderman was my music that I chose for both my births. It seemed to just be something that soothed me and got me through. You're just planning the whole thing, taking familiar things with you, whatever it takes, do it. Okay. Now onto periods, the things that you want to get when you don't want to have a baby. So think of it that way. Yes, I know it gets to that date of the calendar and you go, oh God, 3 days to go. Soon my bitch mode's going to come into place, and then like the cramps, and then the fun of the blood. Oh, the blood. You look at the toilet and you go, shark attack. That's what I always used to say. Matt gets used to that. He's like, for fuck's sake, is this ever going to get old? I'm like, no. Shark attack. It's sick, but let's talk about this grossness because it's part of life. A woman bleeds. Anyway, I have PCOS. So I have very, very heavy periods. I'm talking flash floods out of nowhere. Okay? Fill up a pad because I had to wear both because these people that can wear one, fuck you. Light periods and things. Like, don't even talk to me. No, joking. We all get what we get given. But, in my family, we're very fertile. I was warned about that, and it's true. Okay? We tried for both our children. Once. Done. Okay. Wasn't much fun. It's not saying that you only do it for that reason. You know what I mean. I'm just saying, like, I'm very fertile. And I assume that's why I bled quite well. But anyway, I don't know if it's connected. But anyway, I would fill it up within 20 minutes. And then 20 minutes. And then it's just awful. And the pain felt like childbirth, guys. It felt like, sort of, I'd say like if you look at the pain scale of childbirth, about a quarter of the way into that, it's getting intense and it's starting to take over the brain totally, where you can only think about getting through the pain. That's that phase. That's what my periods were like. Not at the beginning. And I was late to get my periods compared to everybody else at school, which is embarrassing. Late to get bra as well, which is embarrassing. For females, it is. It's a thing, apparently. But so I'd get teased for that because everyone would be flicking each other's bra and they'd come up to me and they'd be like, it's a singlet. And I'm like, yeah, so you judging? Bitches? I'd be judged. And I begged my mum for a bra and she wouldn't get me one. She goes, you don't have anything. And I'm like, that's not the point, Mum. I want to be flicked at the back. She's like, you what? She probably thought, I never really, because as an autistic, we don't explain everything. So she probably walked away to cook dinner going, I think something's wrong with my daughter. She's crazy. She wants to be physically. Oh, she must have thought I was just a weirdo. But it was a thing at school. And the cool kids were doing it. All the girls were doing it. And I could not participate. But I could do it to others. But I couldn't participate. Anyway, so the reason why it's hard for autistic, sensory. It's, especially for, and there's a lot of females that bleed heavily. There's a lot of expectations on us in life where we don't get to tend to our hygiene, get to tend to, even though I would forcibly make sure that I had time because I'm also OCD about hygiene. And so basically, and some autistics are also like that too, so there's that extra complexity. But like, And it's also hard because autistics and ADHDers, now I don't know which one is more guilty than the other because I have both, but I could be sitting doing something really, like I'm really hyper-focused, whether it's for whatever reason, right? I'm hyper-focused and I've got to go toilet. I'm like, it's not uncomfortable enough yet, so I'm just going to wait. You know, that's what kind of person I am. And yeah, it's like, that's what I was like with that as well. It's like, this is feeling a bit risky. Should I go check? And sometimes when you check, it's like, no, it's just, I got that bit wrong. And it's, so it's really frustrating. And the pads just don't, and these days they've gotten worse. The ones that actually make it feel less, I guess, wet. That's gross, isn't it? It's not actually a good thing. You want it to be a little bit enough to know where you're at, especially when you're in public. So anyway, I feel lucky. I feel sorry for any of you women that had to work jobs where you had to deal with it on the job, because I know with me being disabled, I had access to a toilet probably a lot more often than you did. But I'm telling you, I need that. So when women say, look, I can't do this or I can't do that because of my period, it's actually true. Some women's periods do take them out for, I'd say, at least 2 to 3 days, depending on the period, because everyone is different. Every period is different. And I found that with sport, and my sport teachers knew. If I said, look, not today, why? You know, that thing that girls get. And they knew with me it was serious because I was the real sportsy kid. Like I did, you know, advanced phys ed, extra phys ed at high school, and there was only 2 of us girls in all of this sea of boys, basically, literally sea of boys, because the first module was surf survival. Don't even go there with that. Talk about shark attack. My sports teacher pushed me in at Hillary's Marina. Yep, pushed me in. There was a shark sighting on that weekend, and I said to him, I did the Wednesday thing, crossed my arms, stood back, not getting in. He goes, you are? I'm not. There was a shark sighting here on the weekend. I'm not getting in. We were meant to swim around the buoy and be timed. And I was like, no. Not today. Poing. I was like, oh. I tell you what, I've never swum so fast. Didn't feel my legs. So yeah, I think that you really have to, for an autistic girl, prepare them for not only periods, and don't be like, oh gosh. See, in my era, and I don't know, I think it's a cultural thing as well as a era thing. But with my mum, it was just like, yeah, here's some pads. I was like, great, thanks. And I was devastated. She's like, it's a great thing you'll be able to have babies. I was like, you evil woman. When I heard about babies when I was 9, I told you, mother, not happening. No. I don't even think it's physically possible. God. Ew. No. Oh, but no, she gave me super pads. Super. I walked to school the next day. I swear I was walking with my legs apart. Because I didn't have much space to walk my legs together. Felt like I was wearing like some kind of bloody, I don't know, like a rolled up towel between my legs. It was ridiculous. Like walking on it. I don't know how to explain it. I was walking and I'm like, how am I supposed to live my future like this every month? I had no one to talk to. It wasn't discussed in my house. No, you don't talk about it. My mum was raised with nuns. It's probably like, yeah, the curse. Ew, you've got the curse. You know, I thought you could get pregnant by kissing. Okay? Totally misinformed. Because when I got to sex ed class, oh my God, we didn't have bananas, we had carrots. Fuck's sake. It's probably because it's cheaper. We had to put a condom on a carrot. In front of the boys. They thought it was funny. I was like, fuck off. Ooh, fuck off. Fuck off. Stop looking at me. It's gross. Such a bitch I was to boys. I was such a bitch. Because they were my mates, right? So it's like, no, I'm not dating you, okay? We're friends. Okay? Sure. Okay. That's very intimidating. These poor boys. We're probably going home going, Mum, this is what she's like. And the mum's probably saying, no, not that one. You don't want that one as a wife. At my school reunion, one boy said, I was scared of you. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, you know, my friends would be like, oh my God, it's Miss Goody Two Shoes, Dyan. Oh, I'm like, fuck off, bitches. I'm like, why do you think that? They're like, the way you look at me. It was like, I was like, oh no. And all I'm thinking of is my family, right? They'd say, if looks could kill, we'd all be dead. Here's a gift. What can I say? I don't know. Autistic. Don't know what my face expressions were. Still don't know face expressions. I prefer words. Thanks. But periods are very, very... And you know what, girls? Please don't be bitches to each other at high school about periods. It's normal. You can have babies. Now I sound like the same bitch. No, it's hell. Okay, if I had a daughter and if I was to say, this is what I'd say. I am so sorry. This is like a fucking funeral. Your innocence is over. This shit's going to happen once a month. Sincere apologies on behalf of all females before you. This is terrible. It's going to suck. It's going to be painful. You're going to be bitch mode once a month. Yep, little switch is going to switch on. And everyone around you is going to go, fuck, what's wrong with her? And no one's going to let you off because it's your period. Literally, it's your hormones. I've studied psychology. Hormones make you bitchy or they affect your mood. Fact. Okay, it's a biology fact. Look it up. My heat pack's a bit. What? Why is this on pause? Jeez. That's just. Hang on. Sir's back. And we're talking about you know what. Ooh. No, but like. Seriously, like, don't pick on each other for having something that's normal. It sucks. Grieve together. Support each other. Tell each other, I'm so sorry when they get it and they tell you. If you'd like me to, you know, escort you to the toilets, not come in with you because that's just like, Does anyone remember? You go to high school and you're so embarrassed. In the female change room when everyone else is doing the same fucking thing probably too. Okay, and you're in the stall and you want to rip off the thing. And in our days, they were like real archaic, really noisy. The plastic was real crinkly. Did you kind of go... Yeah, we all did that. We all did that and we all knew we were doing that, but we still fucking did that. What's wrong with us? So adolescents out there, I'm so sorry if that's still going on. Like, sit your friends down and say, guys, we're chicks. We're the breeders, as far as the government's concerned. We are going to create human beings. And periods are the reason why we have to have them, basically, is to be able to do that thing. So let's just accept that we're all in the same boat and support each other, okay? Period support club at high school. Or primary school if it's... Then again, no, primary schools... Yeah, it does happen in primary school. Anyway, support each other. Support groups. Bring the fucking chocolate. Okay? Do I need to explain that bit? No, I don't. Bring a shit ton of chocolate. Don't be short on the chocolate. Leave no woman behind. She could get real bitchy. Basically, just give her chocolate, you know. You know that, like, Sheldon Cooper episode where he's, you know, doing classical conditioning, you know, Pavlov's dog, with the chocolate with Penny. So every time she does something good, he goes, would you like a piece of chocolate? She goes, great, thanks. And she's thinking he's just been super nice, but he was conditioning her. So that's what you do, right? Every time someone at school is real, or at work, is real bitchy, she might be on a period. Just say, would you like a piece of chocolate? Here you go. You're welcome. Okay? It changes everything. If there's any men listening, just do it. Just give someone chocolate. Not someone. The woman. The woman that's... But, you know, then again, warning. Okay, how do I say this about my own species? Women, be nice to men that are trying to help us through these processes. Don't be nasty, okay? If they try to give you chocolate, they just think of the intention. Okay? They just try and be nice. So take the chocolate, even if you don't have your period, take the chocolate, okay? Encourage it. More than once a month, you might get some chocolate. I don't know, it might work. And I think teachers need to have chocolate for the girls. Sorry, boys. Nah, you don't need it. It's essential. It's the medicine. But basically, no, painful periods are real. We need to acknowledge that. We need to have education. And I'm telling you now, someone who's gone through menopause, totally on my fucking own. No medical interventions, really. No, like, talks. There's no talk for the menopause. What the fuck? I mean, seriously, I went through... Yeah, I'm getting serious. Yeah, I'm getting mad. Okay, I went through the period thing. You're welcome. I had 2 children. Childbirth. Ouch! The painful one. Okay, I didn't get... I'm not saying that it's easier to get the thing, like, removed. But I'm just saying. Ow! That's all I can say. Lucky mine was £6 and £7. Actually, I wasn't allowed to have anything above £8. But basically, I'm just saying, right? Be nice to us. And in menopause, chocolate still works. And you know what? So let's lead into the menopause. I'll title it this way too. Menopause. So when you've had your great fun of decades of periods, such fun. And if your periods are very, very painful, please go to the pharmacist. There is medications. Please Google and learn, and don't just put up with it. And demand that you get medical needs about it met. So if you are struggling to work because of your period, it is a real thing. It is a real thing. There are conditions that some women have that come with their period. I was one of them. Okay, I had such intense pain that I would be banging my fists on the wall. It is bad for some women, and we must respect that. It is not a walk in the park all of the time for some women. But let's talk about the menopause. Why the fuck aren't we talking about it? So I noticed on TikTok we are. Well, there's particularly one lady I know that's really getting it started, and ex-gen girlfriend. I tell you what, I just want to hug you. And I'm autistic. That means a lot. If we hug someone, there's like a lot of respect. Because we don't hug. It's not our preferred activity, right? Unless it's a person that's very familiar and safe feeling, and you want to kind of a bit of a nuzzle, but just don't Don't make us feel like we can't move, because we might get a bit, hang on, no. Unless there's sensory moments where we need deep pressure. Normally anxious moments. Deep pressure works well. Even if you just hold our arms or legs and just give deep pressure, I'm telling you, if you've got an autistic child, do it. Deep pressure massage. If the child doesn't react well, don't do it. But I'm just saying, just like weighted blankets, they work. I put mine on from being like, okay, I go from that to like, what's wrong? What was my problem? What was I going on about? Don't you remember? That's what happens to me. So deep pressure can be good. But anyway, menopause, talk about it. Especially us women that have been through it. Talk about it for the next ones that are going to go through it. So let me educate you on my knowledge of menopause, but I'm just one lady who's been through menopause. One. Do your research, because I'm just one. But I'm telling you, there is so much that happens to a woman in menopause. It is actually really sad, because our children are normally adults by the time we're going through it. Think we're just bitchy and depressed over nothing, and it's stupid to be depressed over nothing. It's really sad, because right when your children are becoming opinionated, which is natural, that's normal. I'm not shaming that at all, but they do. They start judging you as a person when they become adults. That's what they do. It's like a rite of passage. It's what happens. So they look at us mums and they're like, oh, you're so emotional. So many emotions, especially if you've got sons. So many emotions. It's so annoying, Mum. Really, chill, you know. It's like, yeah, we're going through perimenopause and then menopause. That's what we're normally going through, because the studies show, latest research is, when your youngest child is 20 or your last pregnancy, so for some women that sadly lose a baby, you know, you should, that's the timing of the cycle, because there's cycles of cycles, is when your menopause will come. Most likely, perimenopause will get going. Some it can be sooner. I know in my family it was sooner, and for me it was sooner, and nobody believed me. And yet here I am, past menopause. Post-menopausal. Officially. I thought I was at one point, but my doctor corrected me, and I was like, oh, that's the official time. Could have told me sooner. No, in all fairness, he's a dude. Why is a dude going to think to tell me about menopause? So, health minister again. Let's have a chat. Menopause clinics, improve them. Make us aware of them. You know, I found out about the menopause clinic when I was practically finishing my menopause. Come on, Australia. Get fucked. Okay? Now, I didn't do the HRT, and personal opinion here, not a doctor. I don't recommend it. I spoke to another lady who was medically induced going through menopause, which that must be hard to be younger and going through it. But she said all HRT does is prolong the whole thing. And there's cancer risks in that, in my eyes. Personal opinion, don't even care about the science. Even the pill, I'm so glad I was allergic to the pill after my second child, because guess what? I feel like that is dangerous, which is tricky in life, ladies. Sorry. Shouldn't brag about that, because for some people that's tricky. But I'm just saying, for me, the pill just was coming back up, the hormones were making me feel so nauseated. I could not function when I got to like the 7th day or something. So yeah, I didn't cope with the pill. I tried 3 or 4 different brands, all the same. So basically I couldn't tolerate it, and I'm glad. But same with HRT, I wouldn't take it. I think it's too risky. I think, and being a sick person myself with many, many medicines that I take in a day, 6 times a day I'm on all these different medications and vitamins to make up for the medications, or just to when you have autism, you are lacking magnesium, zinc, a lot of vitamin Bs. It's called pyrroles. Look it up. You most likely have it if you're autistic. So you need to take all those. And then just more things like, I take a lot of things because my doctor's very open-minded and has a lot of recommendations of vitamins as well. So I don't like taking what I don't need to take. So if I don't need to take something, I don't take it. That's just my personal choice. I'm not a doctor and I'm not advising anything. Seek advice from your doctor at all times. But I don't believe in HRT. I didn't do it that way myself. I did it naturally. And it was brutal. I mean, I'd wake up in the night and I think that went on for at least 10 years. And at the end, it was every single night, whereas before it was sporadic and it was, off and on. But at the end, it was every night. I would wake up dripping and then freezing. So it could be like peak winter. It could be one night it was 0 degrees. But I woke up and I'm dripping. And the reason why I know is I've got Google Home. So I knew it was 0 degrees. It was winter. The house we're in at the time had no heating. We couldn't even afford the heating. We could only afford it for certain pockets of the time of the day. So I was dripping. That's how awful it is. I used to have to get up, and I got to the point where I would put a towel next to my bed, a pair of pajamas, and I'd change my PJs and clean myself with a towel. It's brutal. It disturbs your sleep. And insomnia, that's where it starts, ladies. The insomnia. God. But you know what? At least I got to meet some aliens. Like, literally. I'm not shitting you. I have an alien story. Dead set. I went out the back. I had this, just feeling to go out the back. It was weird. I went out the back. Insomnia was bad. This was in perimenopause, right? Insomnia, bad. Terrible. I mean, I know autistics don't sleep, but this was bad. This is, and it's part of it, guys. It's part of it, okay? If you get to an insomnia moment of your life around the time when you think it could be perimenopause starting, you might be onto something there. There possibly is a connection. Anyway, speak to your doctor, but to help with the sleep. But basically, yeah, I'm sitting outside and looking at the moon. Had a really nice little courtyard, so it was really lovely. So I'm sitting outside, and I'm like, holy shit. There was these 3 orb things that were brightly coloured. I'm talking really strong, vibrant colours. And I'm like, oh shit. And these things are just staying in the one spot. And it was just weird vibes. And they were never there before. We lived in that house for 7.5, nearly 8 years. And I was like, what the fuck? So I got the binoculars. So I sneak in, try not to wake up Sir. And both my kids were living at home at that point. They were adults, but they were living at home. I was like, I don't want to wake anyone up. I get the binoculars and I'm looking. And we also had the big telescope. Now that I was trying to be really quiet with, because it was one of those, one friend of Matt's gave it to him. And it was really clunky and old. Oh, so good. It was, oh my God. I wish we kept it. But basically, I tried using that. Couldn't quite get the focus. I'm a bit of an idiot. This one eye thing. I can't even wink. I can't do this one eye thing. But anyway, basically, I got the normal binoculars, right? And I'm looking and I'm like, fuck. What the fuck is that? I've never seen that shit before. And there was 1, 2, 3, 4 one night, and then happened again. There was 3 another night, and I was just like, what the fuck? And then they were starting to go, and I'm like, where are you going? And then I went down the side of my house and looked, and I was like, oh no, it's over there now. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And at the same time, all these sightings are going on in Perth online. People were talking about it, and I was like, And I showed this video on Facebook, and I was like, what is it? What does everyone think of this? Like, look at this. I've zoomed in too to see the photos. This is on like an older iPhone back then. But it was super cool. So yeah, how did we get to aliens from periods? Yeah, menopause. So insomnia is a sign. Fuck's sake. Oh, this is gonna have to be a podcast. And I don't think I've covered enough about periods, except for it's a sensory nightmare. And I want to honour that in autistic females. I know, guys, that as much as nobody likes them as a woman, it's extra hard for us. It is. And menopause as well. Because sweating out is one of my things. Being half wet, half dry, can't do it. Can't do it. So menopause for me. How'd you go?
I won't give you a big hug and a cuddle when I'm half sweaty because it's half wet and half.
Fucked.
But I've actually had a shower because this white man can't jump. I've just proven it. It's a gravitational effect.
You're about to have a heart operation.
I know. I'm trying to defy my age, but I'm about to turn 54. Don's about to turn 50.
All right. So add on to the menopause thing. Delusional when you get old.
Yeah, apparently I'm delusional.
We're delusional.
We've got a little
we
park
both are.
at the front of ours, which is
we don't realise
like
how old we are.
Basketball court and table tennis table and all these other things. So I thought I'd go.
Yeah, we have table tennis tables that are metal.
Yeah, that's really cool. Outdoor table tennis table.
Awesome.
And I used to be literally state national champion in table tennis. So I'll bring that on. But anyway, I used to coach and umpire basketball, play basketball all my life. Haven't probably played basketball for 20 years.
Jeez.
Maybe 10 years. That's 10 years. Well, this old white man, this old white guy can't jump. But I can get the damn thing in. I have not muscle memory. Your muscles do not forget. They also remind you that they shouldn't forget, and they remind you how sore it is when white man tries to jump. But anyway, I can shoot. I can do all that stuff.
I can't.
Geez, am I going to feel my body?
Did you do the 3-step?
Oh, layups, left, right, hook shots, behind the backboard.
I can't do it.
Set shots.
I can't
pivot,
do it.
Turn. Except my jump shot is actually more like a set shot because, like I said, white man can't jump. It's a true fact. It's like I bounce.
I can't do it.
Follow through the whole. Oh, I get the ball in. That was really good. It's actually quite a nice little setup, to be honest.
Good.
I actually enjoy that. I will do that more. I'm
nice
trying
park.
to get
We have
fit.
a lovely
I'm trying
park.
to lose weight. I'm trying to.
It's got like barbecues, grassed areas. It's got little doggy bags,
it's got a swing.
It's got a swing. I'm getting my own personal swing.
Yes, that should be coming very shortly.
But basically, yeah, it's got like table tennis tables.
Yep, I'm gonna get myself a table tennis, but I just need to find someone who can play table tennis.
Yeah, because it won't be me.
It's a bit boring because you can't play it by yourself.
Sorry.
In fact, that's what I used to do as a child. Believe it or not, you know the old Don Bradman, is an Australian cricket legend who used to go out the back of his house. He had one of those metal rainwater tanks, and he used to hit the cricket ball or tennis ball against the thing with a stump, and that's how he learned how to become a batter. Well, I did the same thing as a child. I started off with tennis or ball sorts. I became a state champion player at tennis, and same concepts with table tennis table. I actually bought a table tennis table in the garage when I was in Sorrento.
Yeah.
I would spend probably 8 to 10 hours a day.
Oh God. Yeah.
It's like the Russians training and the Chinese training.
Sounds like me tapping in the
all the fancy shots and
garage.
You name it.
Yeah.
But that's because that was my. I didn't have friends. I wasn't doing things. It was just I was playing against myself. It's just repetitive, hundreds of thousands of hours just doing the same. It's amazing what you do. Anyway, just what I'd say. G'day, and this white man's gonna find some cream and stuff to put on his back. Oh,
you're so old.
Old man.
Old man, go rest. Old man can't jump. I did basketball for one term, and it was funny because like the guy teaching me, which was a friend at school, we had the same surname. So he sort of like tried extra hard with me to sort of get me into this basketball thing. And the layup, I can't do it. The whole term, no success. And I'm like, I can dance. I can really dance. Can't do it. And it's the 1, 2, 3 thing. And you know what it is? This is really weird. Same with ballroom. I could never do ballroom very well. Except for certain things, of course, because it's dance. But it's because the rhythm is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All of my dance stuff was 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And autistically, I couldn't transfer that knowledge. I couldn't transfer it. So the 1, 2, 3 was like, and a layup is 1, 2, 3. Same with long jump, 1, 2, 3. Couldn't do it. And my sports teacher would be like, you're so good at everything else and you get us all of the ribbons and all of the scores for different things, but you can't do long jump. And I'm like, what can I say? It's not going to happen because there's a 1, 2, 3 in it. And he's looking at me like, you're a weird kid. What do you mean 1, 2, 3? But I just knew, I even knew as a kid, anything that's 1, 2, 3 ain't going to compute. So, yeah, that was just out for me. So, but we have a basketball hoop down there that's just ready to go. Table tennis, the whole lot. It's great. So what was I talking about? So basically, oh my goodness. Yeah, so aliens came from me having insomnia. So if you have insomnia, and also it really affects a woman's like emotional state. I think that the sad thing is, you know how they have postnatal depression? Postnatal depression, well, it's really comes with anxiety, that one. Postnatal depression and anxiety. I had that with my first because I was so scared to not be a good mummy that happened to me. I would have horrid thoughts. I mean, he slept in a pram next to my bed, and I would literally constantly lean over and just do this. Fucking hell. Because I was terrified of my baby just me not being there when he needed me when I'm asleep. And he's meant to be sleeping, but I'm meant to sleep. And it's just like, I can't be a mum and be asleep. It just was very stressful. And so I got very depressed because I got very stressed with the responsibility of being a mum. So if you're going to be a mum and you have autism, definitely educate yourself on how to be a mum. And I'm very good with the 0s to 12, and then I'm lost. Yep, those fuckers just manipulate the shit out of me after that. I'm like, sure, yep, sure, yep, sure. I just don't know how to do it. Except for, yes, when there's, certain things, it's like, no, no, not that, not this, not that. You're the strictest parents in the world. Yeah, probably. But you should have grown up in my household. It was worse, right? You couldn't even say, shut up. But basically, but I don't like the trend of these kids swearing and it being funny. I think that's just absolutely foul. And I don't like the lack of etiquette. I'm just going to say it. I don't like the lack of etiquette. Because you know why? The fun thing about becoming an adult is you get to choose what kind of adult. So if you want to swear, if you don't want to swear, if you want to do both. Like, kids don't actually get to choose how they represent themselves. But people think it's cool for kids to act like an adult and just let it go. The swear words, the behaviours, the dress styles. It's just too soon. Like, what have they got to look forward to? You're ruining their future. It's all part of, like, they're meant to swear behind your back. That's what's fun for them. You're taking away the fun. We all know they do it. But you don't want them to know that you know that they do it. You don't want them knowing that you know. Keeps it a secret. Because it makes it more fun for them to swear, right? Don't take that right from them. And same with the drinking. If it happens, it happens. But don't encourage it. Bloody hell, don't. Seriously, there's enough time for drinking. Not saying you punish them. I mean, I remember picking up our first situation, which was our first child. He was nearly 16, come home. His friends, lovely though, his friends did ring and did the right thing. Cam's a bit drunk. It's like, oh no, here we go, parenting's in full gear. So you pick him up and I'm sitting with him at the bottom of the toilet. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. I'm like, it's fine, hun. Look, seriously, this is teenage life. And next minute he's doing, I think you're learning a lesson. I think you're getting good experience of why we say this is not really a good thing. I don't need to tell you off, because I think what you're suffering right now, he was just oh, it was bad. I was like, seriously, son, I have to keep an eye on you for medical reasons. I'm going to keep an eye on you, and I'm going to sit with you. And I sat at the bottom of the toilet with him, poor thing, until it was over and he felt like he could sleep. But it was scary. But they do it, right? But don't encourage it. Like, just don't encourage it. There's plenty of time for them to do rebellious things. There's plenty of time for them to do the drinking thing as adults. I really don't see the need in rushing it. I really think we should go back to childhood being childhood, because there's things about childhood for a reason. They need to be like that, because adulthood is not all fun, and that's the whole thing about, those things. So yeah, now we've gone to menopause, to raising teenagers, because it is very difficult for autistic mums. The teenager and adult side of it for an autistic mother is really, really difficult. It's not an easy thing to do, to raise kids when you don't even understand a lot about yourself or about life, because you are delayed because of your autism. And unfortunately, I think that's caused a lot of problems in my generation with our own children. And even like, I don't know, if I'm to look at my own mother, is she autistic? But I feel like I connected with my son. There's also personality differences too, that my mum and I are very, very different people, I think, in a lot of ways. But it's just, so I think I'm a lot like my father, and I don't think she liked that, because unfortunately I didn't have a nice divorce with my parents. And that was a lot of pressure on us kids, and it's not fair. It's not right. And it wasn't easy. And that is my father. So when I act like him, I look like him. It's not my fault, but I feel that played a role in how I was treated. So, it's difficult raising teenagers when you're autistic as a mum. And I think the only thing I can say to get yourself through is, check your friends first, because they might be getting it wrong. But friends can be a great sounding board of like, hey, my kid's getting into this, and I just want to make sure they're okay or whatever. But then you've also got to respect, and this is what I found hard, because I'm very much a very rule, as I joke about, you hear me joke about it all the time. I'm a rule observer. Don't breach your child's information and trust. My mum did that to me a lot, and that really severed a lot of our relationship. Don't talk to other people about your children. Only keep it sort of in the family and need-to-know basis, because you and your child, and even between each child, you have a special, unique relationship with each of those children, and you need to keep that separate. So as an autistic mum, I'd recommend that, you stick to those rules, because they work, I think. But I think what's sad is, I think the government needs to offer more assistance to families with a neurodivergent parent, because things go wrong. There needs to be more supports for when our kids grow up and they go, my mum's autistic, it's weird. Even if one of them's autistic. But see, I'd say because of my early intervention, because early intervention makes a massive difference, and my generation is proof of that, because my son suffers a lot less from his autism than I do. I suffer massively, and I do put it down to his raising. I put it down to his experiences, opportunities, and the nurturing that went with it, like I said. And I think that makes a lot of difference, and I wish I had that for myself. And I wish that, that happened, in the sense that I would be doing better in certain areas right now. And you can't go backwards, because I'm nearly 50. You can't change me now. And that's why Tony Atwood is very big on, us older ones kind of, giving out that information for certain things. Because you know what? we're the first pancake, okay? A lot of us autistics struggled. Now, I feel like I came out of it the best. The undiagnosed autistic of the X generation, I feel like I've come through as one of the, well, right? I feel like looking at other autistics' mistakes, knowing I could have made exactly the same ones, I'm like, I really have a lot of empathy for autistic adults that weren't diagnosed, hence why I did that video recently, and still do for the ones that are being missed in current days now, and you're being missed because it affects you, your family, particularly your little immediate family if you have children and a partner, and then your extended family as well. It really does. And some of us have parents that go, I don't believe in autism or ADHD. And it's like, that's nice, but it's true. There's studies to say that there's two, or not two, there's different ways of operating, different brain styles, basically. Be like there's 16 personalities. If you just look up the Myers-Briggs, yep, the typical Myers-Briggs, I did that in university myself, and I'm one of the rare ones. Guess what? I reckon that's the autism one. It's the rare one. What is it? The I something, J something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm one of the rare times. Surprise. I think it's probably connected to autism. But basically, yeah, I think that we need more supports for parents who are autistics. And even the ones now coming through that have autism, that are going to have kids, they still need support because even I would say neurotypical families need supports. I won't even go into families because there's like, as someone with, see, if you add my qualifications together, my psychology, 3 years, and then like the 4 years of welfare, that's kind of social work. So I'm very much knowledgeable on families, and I'm telling you, there's a lot I could say. I have a lot of solutions, but nobody cares, because guess why? It goes against the economy. It's kind of what the government only gives a shit about. That's one thing welfare workers know. The only thing the government cares about is fucking money, calling it all out on it. All of you politicians that end up prime ministers, all you care about when you get to the top is money. And I'm not saying, oh, of course they have to. They've got to divvy it out to this and that and whatever. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you don't divvy it out fair or square or in mind of what society needs. The very people are like paying the tax, you know, those ones, those people that pay the tax. I mean, I remember having an arsehole psychologist go, oh, aren't you lucky there's Medicare? What the fuck, bitch? Lucky there's Medicare? Where do you think Medicare comes from? The fairies? Like Santa Claus? You know, when you're a parent and you give your kids all this stuff and Santa gets all the fucking credit? Fuck that shit. Okay? Don't put Santa on the card. Right? Put mum and dad. Fuck that shit. Fuck you, Santa. Hope he's not listening. He's on the naughty list. But I'm just saying, fuck you, Santa. I paid for that shit. Expensive shit. But it's the same thing. Like, government just doesn't care about anything but money. Because we would not be in the position in Australia that we're in right now if it wasn't about money. We wouldn't be. People would have a home. Maslow hierarchy of needs. Everyone deserves a home. Mr. Albanese, fix it now. Stop making excuses. You know, you can build kid homes in 6 weeks. Get onto it. You've got recycled materials now. No excuse. Self-sufficiency. Many scientists have not wasted their time, Mr. Albanese, for you just to just piss on it. Okay? There is solar paneled stuff and all these kinds of like things that you can build self-sufficient houses, guys. We don't have to be living this way. It's all about the money. Anyway, look up Nikola Tesla. He'll tell you everything you need to know. He's gone, but his stuff is still around, basically. Okay, like you shouldn't be paying for electricity. Anyway, so we've talked about the whole lot. Whoop. Something coming on that phone. I think he's dead. Oh, he's just laughed. No, he laughed. He's not dead. Not dead. Damn it. Damn it. He's not dead. That's no fun. Still stuck with him. You know what? In Australia, do you know what I've served with this marriage? Sir?
Yeah.
2 life sentences. Possibly 3. Fuck that shit. Where's my medal? Do I get it? Do I get a letter from the Queen? Oh, she's passed. And the King's passing. Oh God. Jesus Christ, everyone's dying. Everyone's dying. Sorry, Kat. Not everyone's dying. Not everyone. I mean, just some people, like the Queen and the King. Sorry, William. You're fucked. I'm sorry. You've got a lot of responsibility, dude. I'm like, people, you shouldn't have been envious. Okay? I would not want to be that. Anyway. So this podcast is just weird. The weird podcast. I have no more words. How is that possible? But autism and all of these things are harder. And these things are hard for normal, whatever they call, there's another name for neurotypicals apparently, but fuck that word. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of struggles. And you know what, government? I'm going to listen up, everyone. This is what you tell your government, because fuck the government. They don't listen to us. But you guys can listen to me. Just tell them to fuck off. Okay? You women need to say, I don't need 2 jobs, thanks, government. I've got 1. I've got kids. And I need to raise them to be civilized human beings, and that takes a lot. Think of a daycarer. They get paid. Why are you acting like it's not work? Washing, cooking, cleaning, educating, taxi, nursing, carer. What do you think that is? They're all jobs. Sewing. When they have costume days or whatever. Okay? Personal assistant. Mum, I got a class party tomorrow. It's fucking 6 o'clock at night, son. Sorry, Mum. Fuck you. Shit. Okay, well, I don't want you to be, like, picked on at school because you brought the shit food, so let's go to IGA. Fucking hell. Okay, there needs to be a manual. Maybe I should write it. I was a house manager. Don't call yourself a housewife. House manager. Get a plaque. Whatever you have to do. It's a job. It's a full-time job. And you know what? I'll tell you this. Now that we're having more mothers work ever than before, and this was backed up by a judge, crime's back. Not just because of the homelessness. Crime's back. These children that grow into these teenagers, and they're still children, need a mother or a father at home being present. That's why they are rebelling, because they're not being supervised. Do you know that you supervise teenagers for different reasons? They're not adults yet. Their brains have not fully formed. They make stupid decisions. It's sad because it's not their fault. Their brains are still growing. You do not finish adolescence until 21. 21. It's a long time. So a judge in Australia gave the at-home allowance. You can thank her for that if you're receiving it. I never bloody did because we always earned too much. But if you're receiving it, you deserve it because you're at home raising kids. It's a job, like I said, if you're doing it right. Don't be a lazy mum that just doesn't do it right. You do have to be a mum. Help them with their homework. You are their personal assistant. Sorry, you are the cook and the cleaner. You are the person that washes the clothes and the football boots and everything. You are, right? You're the taxi, you're everything. But I'm just saying, like, you know, I forgot what the point was. It'll come back. Yeah, she worked in the juvenile court for 30 years in Australia, and she said, I propose to you, government, if you want the court costs to go down and crime in youth to go down, you need to pay some mothers to stay at home to be able to afford to have the option to stay at home and look after their children, because it's not just the little ones, but the big ones that get into the big naughty things. You know, a toddler, like my kids one day, talcum powder all throughout a whole bedroom. Such fun. They were having the time of their life. I wasn't for the next 5 hours after that. Not at all. But they had a great time. Great time, right? When they're teenagers, there's more harmful behaviours they can get into. More permanent damage can happen, right? Crimes can be committed. And it's not good because their brains haven't formed. They need us. They need our guidance, our protection. So when we call it supervision, it's also protection. It's also protecting them. And they hate us for it. I get it. But you don't. Look, if you need to be liked by your child, you're fucked. You're fucked. Because that child has you wrapped around their little finger. And it's all cute while they're cute. And then they get older. It ain't so cute. Really ain't cute. Okay, because they will want to separate from you. Don't take it as a personal thing. It's what they're meant to do. They are not you. They are their own person, right? They have to individuate. So as they're doing that, you might become, fuck you, Mum. You don't fucking know anything, Mum. Mum, you're so stupid, Mum. Just understand. So look, don't let them swear at you, treat you like shit, all the rest of it. I get that. Don't let them do that. But I'm just saying this is what they do. I'm talking about underage here. You know, be there. And that's why that thing came out and the crime rate went down while women used that thing. So tell the government to fuck off and say we need to be able to do everything on one wage, because and that's particularly you guys that want families. You've chosen to be a family because you don't have to have kids. It's not. You don't have to get married and have kids. You don't have to get married. You don't have to have kids. You don't have to be in a relationship. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. That's the new age, right? I agree with that. Do you? But what I'm saying is if you choose to be a family, which is quite natural because it's the biology of all of us, there's actually a reason for that. That's not just your choosing. There's a drive for this. This is a biological force, like Mother Nature and the ocean and the weather and whatever. Okay, this is Mother Nature at its best. So if you want to have a family, tell the government, fuck you, I can't do it on one wage, not playing this shit, not doing it hard, and I'm a woman and I'm not having 2 jobs. Fuck off, okay? These kids need my undivided attention and they bloody deserve it and they need it. There is so much they don't learn at school, guys. There's so much they don't learn in daycare centres. Okay, and when I saw those kids in high vis, had 3. Okay, to me that's just institutionalisation. When I saw the 4 corners of kids that are school resistant, yeah, some of them bad parenting. Just fucking bad parenting, I'm sorry. Calling it out. Shit parenting. The rest, autistic, neurodivergent children, which comes with a lot of anxiety, possibly some syndromes like mine with my 22q, fear and anxiety, massive. I had massive resistance to school, tension, anxiety, meltdowns, everything, absolute absentees, massively. I could not cope with the school environment at all. It was a freaking nightmare for me and my mother, and it was horrible and traumatic, and it is not, I wanted to be there, I wanted to cope. It was not a naughty thing. Had no choice in it. There was no choice in it. It's not truancy. It's not bad behavior, bad parenting. It's autism. 22q. And all those things come with it. High anxiety, separation anxiety is included in that. That depends on the child. That is a real thing. And now that schools are even more controlling, right? Literally, the big fences around it looks like a prison, you know. It's very anxiety driving for children.
This is your Google nurse.
Shut up.
Take your 6:15 p.m. night.
I don't want to. I will. But I'm just saying, like, autistic parents, really protect your children from this school system, because I'm telling you, and even if you have a neurotypical child that just has anxiety and you know that you're parenting very well, okay, don't take shit from these bloody schools. Your child, not theirs. Your child was born to you and your family, not the bloody government, okay? Yes, you're responsible to make your child a contributing person to society, absolutely. And if you're doing your best, you're doing your best. But I do feel worried that we are making schools for even neurotypicals, let alone neurodivergent children. Must be awful. Must be awful, guys. But even if you're neurotypical, the anxiety that they are building in these schools is disgusting. The bullying because of social media must be worse than when I was at school. I swear, it has to be. Has to be, because of social media. Social media, adults are getting bullied and can't cope. Okay? So we have to acknowledge the new age way of spiritual warfare. It's happening. It's happening to children. Children don't have a toolbox. They don't know how to do it. And they need mum or dad. Doesn't matter which one. They need them. They need their parents. Or it could be a grandparent. They need someone to help them through. So interesting to see the four corners, but I'm a bit annoyed that they show parents with no backbone. I'm sorry. When you're a parent, children need discipline, routine and discipline. I'm sorry. Even if they're neurodivergent, you can't just be like, oh, we just flow. We'll just go with the flow. We'll just go. No. However, I do agree with Montessori schools. I do. And if I had the money, and I was very, very upset that I never did with my kids, Montessori, Steiner schools, all those, very good. I really believe in them personally, but I think mainstream schools are becoming a fucking nightmare. And these are children, not adults. Make it for children again, basically. Stop making it like it's an adult environment. They've got enough work life of shit to deal with. They don't need to deal with it in childhood. It should be a place that a child is excited to go to. End of story. So parenting, menopause, perimenopause, periods, parenting. All of it's tough with neurodivergent brains. All of it's tough when, you know, we're just human beings. The eras have changed very fast, so I will back up that as a next generation person. Previously, the eras would change quite slow. Social media and you know, all of this Google stuff, you know, think about it. Like when I was a kid and teenager, if I wanted to know what time is it in Mexico, I would have to go to the library and find a book and find out the time in Mexico. Yeah. Yet now you can just ask Google Home, Siri, Alexa, search it on your phone, search it on your iPads, your laptops. Come on, seriously, times have changed. You can't compare the two, and I am concerned for the future children. I'm concerned of their experience, and I don't think because of our experiences were different, I don't think we're really looking at it from their perspective, and we need to. Because these are the kids that are the not IT, I guess it is involving IT, but these are the kids that are born into technology. I don't like it. And it's more than just devices. It's not about device time or all of that. It's just, it's made life different culturally, socially. It's made life different. And it's hard for us to cope in. So imagine being a child. We had times of innocence. Even you millennials had times of innocence before social media. You had that time before social media, even yourselves. These children, they get zero time to work that stuff out. They get zero time to work out who the fuck they are before they hit this internet world. And get this, the Facebook people that were on the first developing team of developing Facebook, etc., their children don't have access to the internet until I think most of them have said 12 or 13, and some of them have said 18. Think about that for a minute. They developed it. They've been watching it the whole time. They're in control of it. Mark Zuckerberg, he's in control of it. Okay? And he controls his kids. So that should tell you something. Okay, so look after your kids. Put them first, because society won't. Times of the village will raise the child and care about the child in return with that raising of the child and assisting is gone. It really is gone. And yeah, take care of them and take care of yourselves. If you don't have kids and you're only related to the periods and the menopause and the other stuff, but if you're going to have kids, this might come in handy. So that's why I've said it too. Because if you're going to have kids, these are all the things that at least I can share, because I had my kids in 94 and 96. So that's my era. And so it was very, very different for my children, because social media came along when they were at an age where I would consider them bare minimum to be able to cope with it. And when it first came in, it was pleasant. It wasn't toxic. Now it's toxic as fuck. So, yeah, take care. I hope this topic of this podcast gave you a lot of insight into a lot of things that I'd say, like, this is all of the gaps of being a woman / mother or possible mother in the future. I think covered all of them. You're welcome. And even for some fathers, maybe some parenting things are in there. So it applies to fathers too, because you know what I will say, compared to the old days, fathers are more present and more proactive in their children's lives. And that's kind of cool to see. That's one change. And I'm not saying that the fathers before were purposely doing it. They were just doing what their fathers did and what their fathers did and what their fathers did. Please don't forget about generational trauma. It's a real thing. Look it up, study it a little bit. If your family's a bit fucked up like the rest of us, all of our families are, generational trauma is a thing. And what your parents went through, you might go through. Never forget that. Not saying that they're exactly the same situations, because they're not. You are always going to be different to your parents, because you are your own person. Your parents are their own person. Your children are going to be their own person. You look at it objectively, but I'm just saying a lot of things can happen over and over again in families because it hasn't been dealt with, or trauma has happened to stop it being dealt with, all that kind of stuff. Psychology brain, I can't help it. I'm just trying to help. Hope I did. See you next time. It's been too long. Clicking off now.